back. We're looking at our Unity 2D. By the way, this is Unity version 5, and we're doing a 2D platformer game. I've got a ninja. He's a game object that has a transform, sprite render, animator, but nothing else is going on. If I click play on here, you'll see that he just is suspended in the air and does nothing. Okay. Well, there's no mass to this character. There's no scripting involved. I can't control it at this point. So we need to add all the pieces we need so that it will, one, land on the platform, that we can move it up, down, left. We can get it to jump, go left and right, and we can add some more features. So we're going to add that now. We're going to depart from the animation series, and we'll talk a little bit about adding all the pieces we need. So you select the game object under hierarchy, and let's go ahead. I'm going to close the sprite renderer, the transform, and the animator. We don't need those right now. We're going to focus on physics. Because it is a 2D game, and there are only 2 dimensions we're dealing with, we're going to use physics 2D. First thing you should be aware of is the Rigidbody 2D. What Rigidbody 2D is this gives you mass, gravity, other items that you can use, including things like types of collision detection. Now, for mass, one tutorial suggested you use about 8 for platforms, and so I'm going to add a mass of 8. Fixed angle, if I don't check this, it can rotate left or right. I'm going to fix the angle, and we'll use all our animation sprite sheets to deal with the angles. And we're basically done with Rigidbody. If we test it out in the game, you will see that the ninja does have mass. However, there's nothing to keep him from just falling off of the game. It doesn't stop at our platform. Now, for this to work, of course, your platform, like this platform, needs to have also what's called a box collider. So let's look at that. When I click on box collider, you can see the one over here. That's not the platform I'm looking for. There it is, platform. Okay. You see right here, box collider. We added a box collider, nothing else, and we adjusted it. You'll see right there is the boundary of the box collider for the platform. Well, our ninja doesn't have anything like it. So we're going to add, not only do we have a Rigidbody, but we're going to add a physics 2D. We're going to use a box collider since he's pretty boxy. And right now you can see it extends out to either side of our ninja. We're going to tighten that up a little bit. So that's under size of X. We're going to draw it in. If you want, you can make multiple box colliders. You can even do one for the feet, a circle for the head, and just like a rectangle for the body. It's up to you how you want to do it. You can add as many box colliders as you want. This one, we're going to just keep like this for now. You want to modify it on your own, go to town. I will say that a box collider and a circle collider are the most efficient of the colliders because there's a lot less programming required to calculate whether we're colliding or not. So that's a box collider right there. Now let's test it out. And he should stop at the other collider. He does. And let's zoom in a little bit on our scene. I'm going to grab the camera. I'm going to draw it in a little. And let's test it out. Yeah, I'll see this. One of the things I want to point out when we test it out is that if you tighten up the camera a little bit, you can see he did a little animation at the very beginning. I saw it. I saw it happen. All right. Anyway, there's the ninja. We've got one box collider that stops him. However, we want to make it so that he can jump from platform to platform, but we don't want him to be able to jump when he's in the middle of the air. So what we're going to do is we're going to add what's called a trigger, and a trigger is just a type of box collider, and you will see box collider has this question, is it a trigger or not? Now, in order to understand triggers, what a trigger is going to tell you is right now, if we look at the 2 box colliders, platform and our ninja, a standard box collider, he's going to land right where that box collider is. It's going to stop right where the other box collider is. See that? We got 2 different ones. Let's see if we can select them both. All right. I'm going to move Ninja down a little bit, just a demonstration, just to show you. Okay, I've selected both the platform and the Ninja to show you. On box colliders, it will just stop right where it touches. Well, what a trigger will do is a trigger will tell you if the box collider is actually intersecting the other one. All right, so in this case, my Ninja is not actually intersecting the other box collider. So for that, we need to add another box collider and use it as a trigger. However, that box collider needs to be able to actually intersect with the other box collider. So triggers will allow you to do that. So I'm going to add a component. It's another box collider. This time, the second one, I'm going to, first of all, uncheck the first one. So I know I'm working on the right one. I'll hide that for now. And I'm going to check is a trigger. So I select the Ninja. And we're going to adjust the box colliders on here. So I open it up and let's zoom in a little bit here. So what I really want to do with my box collider on the Ninja is I want to make sure that it extends below the other box collider. Since this is the trigger, I'm going to increase the Y. Make it a little taller. And I'm going to decrease the X. In fact, I can position it down a little bit. Now watch what happens if I select the platform. When you zoom in on here, you will see that the trigger actually does intersect the box collider. Now, just as a further demonstration, I'm going to take this top box collider, and I'm going to slide it up. I'm going to move it up here, right about where the little vest is. And I'm going to press play. And watch how he hits the platform. You see that? So he's kind of buried down there. That's because this box collider won't intersect the other. This one is a trigger underneath. The trigger can intersect. So that's the difference between a trigger and not a trigger. Okay, so I'm going to just undo what I just did there. There. So all I need is my trigger to go a little bit below, just enough so that it will indeed intersect. Okay, does that make sense? Next step, we need to add a couple more items for us to be able to control our character. So what we're going to do is, with our trigger, we're going to add a physics material. In order to do physics material, we're going to add physics in our assets for our Ninja physics. So I'm going to create new, and it's physics 2D material, and we'll call it Ninja Physics. You need this for your trigger and for programming your Ninja. So I click on Ninja, I take the second box collider that is the trigger, and I click Ninja Physics, drag it to the material. So make sure that your trigger has a physics 2D material attached to it. Okay, so with that being said, I think I've got everything in place to be able to program now our Ninja. So in another tutorial, I will go over the programming of how do we get it to jump, to move left, to move right. Sure.